When I was a principal at the high school, our scores were very much flatlined for several years before I became principal. I remember we spent a lot of time talking to our staff about why is that? Why are our kids not invested in their own education? And so we really took a hard look at ourselves as a team. And what we realized was our kids didn't feel enough that the teachers and staff cared about them. And so we got down into very kind of raw conversations about what it was that our kids needed from us. And I will just say that was the year we had teachers saying, if not us, who, and if not now, when. We really all bonded together as staff and as kids. And that was the year that Clovis West High School had the highest point increase of any high school in the district. And everybody was going, why is that? And I said, it's because we all work together. And the young man is right. We need to make sure that we're all in sync and working together, because our kids want to be successful. They want to have a bright future. And our teachers need sometimes to have those tough conversations and listen to our students. So I enjoyed hearing what he had to say.
Thank you.
Realmente, la respuesta que ella dio, dice que fue muy buena pregunta, pero ¿cuál es el propósito? ¿De cuál es el propósito de los estudiantes? Real aquí, y ella mencionó que cuando estuvo en la high school, como en el distrito de la high school, ella notó que por 7 años consecutivos el nivel de aprendizaje se estuvo manteniendo igual, no subía ni bajaba. Entonces fue cuando realmente ella pudo darse cuenta que necesitaba de hablar con los maestros de la escuela para ver cuál era el problema que se tenía que resolver. Y fue que se dio cuenta que dijeron que los estudiantes no estaban siendo exitosos porque notaban y veían que los maestros y el personal de la escuela no les importaban sus estudiantes. Y eso fue lo que podía ser el cambio. Y ya después de eso, el porcentaje de Clovis High School incrementó. Y este joven está correcto. Todos necesitamos estar con la misma idea conectada, a la misma unidad.
Oscar, buen hecho, Oscar. You should run for an office. To answer your question, pressure. We need pressure in order to do our jobs as best as we possibly can, and that's lacking. It's lacking in positions. I believe it's lacking even in this position of Fresno County Superintendent of Schools. It's not a knock on anybody, it's the environment. We need to fix that. Here's what I mean by that. When we take a hard look, when we conduct an analysis of what needs to be done, where the deficiencies are, then we can be responsive, because pressure will require us to do that. Our students should not be failing. I'll give an example. We've been living in a world for quite a while about social promotion, that we keep promoting kids from one grade level to the next. And it's no wonder why we might not be paying as much attention to 57% of our kids not proficient on grade level in ELA and 68% not proficient in math at grade level. That could possibly be it. We don't have enough pressure. Students like you giving us that information provides that good pressure. That's all I've worked at wherever I've been, is good pressure, not negative pressure, but good pressure. I'll give you a story. There was a gentleman, a student in Fresno County, who was an outstanding athlete. He should have had full rides to colleges, junior colleges, four-year colleges, UC systems. When it was time for him to graduate, he graduated, but he could not pass the assessment into college. And the reason being is because he had a 4th grade reading level when he graduated from high school. That is a problem. That is a real problem that existed, I'm gonna say about 6 or 7 years ago, and I'm sure there's hundreds of stories like that. It is not fair to our kids. We need to have good pressure so that we do the right work in doing everything we can for our students. At Party Unified, we enacted a process that said involuntary transfer to 20 senior students. If we had not done that, they would have been on the campus, walking around, not too concerned perhaps, because there is no way they were going to graduate. We involuntarily transferred them to our alternative ed program, and they are beginning to flourish. There are still some that are challenged, that are seeing this as a challenge, but now we can reduce that number and focus on supporting them. That's how I'll answer that question. Thank you for the question, Oscar.
Dice que la presión es buena presión, no hay mala presión. Y es lo que debemos de tener un poquito más. Necesitamos de tener presión para poder hacer el mejor de nuestros trabajos, nuestro desempeño. Él mencionó diferentes porcentajes donde diferentes estudiantes estuvo de la preparatoria y pudo haber aplicado para muchas diferentes universidades y colegios, pero el problema que tenía es de que no podía tomar el examen exitosamente para poder ser aceptado a estas universidades. Entonces, de nuevo, y eso no es lo que deben tener nuestros estudiantes. Nosotros debemos de tener buena presión para poder seguir haciendo nuestro trabajo y nuestro enfoque debe seguir siendo en seguir apoyando a los estudiantes.
A lot of courage to speak in front of such a nice group as this and an accomplished group as this. So, Oscar, thank you for your courage. I also want to thank you for your initiative and just to say to you that we're working very hard in my office to elevate, amplify, and honor student voice. And your example was tremendous just now because there are systems in the business of education that sometimes fail students. One of those is the fact that we measure students, but we don't measure their capacity, their interest to excel and maybe move faster forward. I will tell you that some of the things we're doing in our schools right now is to really tap into mental health so that students don't have some of those barriers to thinking about their bright futures. And then when a student has built that capacity, and at this point I'm talking about academic capacity, I'm talking about reading on a grade level in first grade, I'm being very, very fluent, especially if you're bilingual. What a superpower to be bilingual. Sound in your math in 5th and 8th grade so that you enter high school with all these opportunities. And again, we want you to be able to see your bright future. Your bright future might be college. We want to make sure you have every opportunity with A through G opportunities. You might feel like you want to go straight into the family business, which is welding or construction or some other honorable trade. We're going to equip you with those CTE opportunities as well. In our office, we're participating with 450 industry partners. I want to say that again because community is important to me. I want to honor those people that have come to our office and said, we want to help you raise up our children in this community. We have 450 people that would like to help you find your way into the trades if that's your choice. What happens a lot of times is once a young person can see their future, they know that they have capacity, they find many, many options that they feel upon graduation. And so I just want to thank you, Oscar, for your courageous comments and let you know that we are doing our very best to listen to students and to make systemic changes and to be very responsive to what we think will make a difference for each and every one of your peers in our schools.
Okay, I ran out of paper. Antes que nada, gracias Oscar por tu valentía y tu iniciativa de estar aquí. Nosotros estamos trabajando en nuestro distrito para elevar la voz de nuestros estudiantes. Nosotros estamos también haciendo algo para proveer esa salud mental también para nuestros estudiantes que les van a ayudar a enfocarse más en su trabajo y poder elevar el nivel de lectura de nuestros estudiantes para que estén a nivel. Y pues también qué bueno que nuestros estudiantes son bilingües como tú, y que eso es un superpoder que tienes. A nivel de high school tenemos muchas oportunidades. Actualmente tenemos más de 450 maestros enseñando CTE courses, clases de educación alternativas, que pueden enseñar desde carpintería, construcción, a soldadura. Nosotros estamos ahí para poder seguir ayudando a nuestros estudiantes para que puedan mirar su futuro. Y es lo que estamos haciendo nosotros vamos a seguir haciendo lo mejor de nosotros para mantener ese nivel de éxito. Gracias.